What if the version of you that everyone likes is not actually the version of you that your soul came here to be? What if the constant yes, the smile when you want to say no, the silence when your truth is burning inside you, the need to keep everyone comfortable is slowly disconnecting you from your own spiritual voice? People pleasing can look like kindness from the outside, but inside, it often feels like self-abandonment. It is the heavy weight of everyone else's expectations resting on your chest, while your own inner truth fades into a whisper. Today, we're going to talk about breaking that cycle. Not by becoming cold, selfish, or closing your heart, but by reclaiming your energetic sovereignty, by dismantling the spiritual mask, by learning the difference between love and fear, between generosity and self-erasure, between soul-aligned yes and a yes that betrays you. So if you're exhausted from being who everyone else's need you to be, and you're ready to remember the voice beneath the performance, stay with me. This may be the moment your spirit starts speaking clearly again. Let's get into it. Let's begin with something honest. People pleasing often doesn't feel like a choice at first. It feels automatic. Someone asks something from you, and before your body even has time to respond, your mouth says, "Yeah, of course. Sure, no problem. It's fine. I don't mind." But inside something tightens, drops. Something in you quietly says, "Actually, no." And that is where the split begins. Your outer life says yes, but your inner soul says no. And that creates a frequency mismatch. You are saying one thing, but vibrating another. You are performing peace while creating inner conflict. You are trying to keep harmony outside of you while abandoning the harmony inside of you. And over time, this becomes exhausting because every time you override your truth to regulate someone else's emotions, your energy pays the price. You might feel it as tightness in the chest, heaviness in the stomach, resentment that builds up quietly, fatigue after social interaction, anxiety before answering messages, guilt whenever you choose yourself, and confusion about what you actually want. People pleasing slowly disconnects you from your own signals. Because if you spend years asking, what do they need? What will they think? How can I avoid disappointing them? How can I keep this person comfortable? You eventually stop asking, what do I feel? What do I need? What is true for me? What is my spirit trying to say? And this is important. People pleasing is not your true personality. It is not proof that you are simply nice. It is not your spiritual identity. It is often a survival mechanism. At some point, maybe you learn that love comes from being useful, that safety comes from being agreeable, that belonging comes from not being too much, that peace comes from swallowing your truth. So your nervous system adapted. It learned, if I say yes, I stay safe. If I keep them happy, I won't be rejected. If I don't express my needs, I won't be abandoned. And maybe that strategy helped you survive. Maybe it protected you once, but what once protected you may now be imprisoning you because your authentic spiritual voice cannot fully speak through a mask. Your intuition cannot be clear when it is constantly interrupted by fear. Your energy cannot be sovereign when your yes belongs to everyone except you. People pleasing is not just a habit. It is often an entire inner architecture, a system built from fear, conditioning, memory, culture, family, and survival. And at the center of that system is one deep fear, the fear of rejection. This fear becomes like an internal surveillance system. It watches everything you say. It scans every facial expression. It monitors every silence. It asks, are they upset with me? Did I say too much? Did I disappoint them? Will they leave? Do they still like me? And suddenly, you're not living from your soul. You're living from constant self-monitoring. You become hyper-aware of everyone else's comfort, but disconnects from your own. You start editing yourself in real time, making yourself smaller, softer, lighter, easier, less complicated, less honest, less alive. And this is where the spiritual mask becomes heavy. Because you may wear different masks in different places. With family, maybe you become the responsible one, the one who never needs too much, the one who keeps the peace. With your friends, you might become the funny one, the valuable one, the one who always listens even when you're empty. At work, you might become the reliable one, the one who takes on more than you can carry. Trust me, been there. The one who says yes because you don't want to be seen as difficult. Online, you may become the polished one, the spiritual one, the healed one, the positive one, the one who never struggles, never doubts, never feels messy. But every mask takes energy to maintain. And the more masks you wear, the more fragmented your energy becomes. Your presence becomes diluted. Your truth becomes scattered. Your spirit becomes tired. And sometimes this is reinforced by culture. Many of us were taught to that being good means being selfless, that being spiritual means always being available, always forgiving, understanding, calm, giving. But real spirituality is not self-erasure. Real compassion does not require you to abandon yourself. Real love does not demand that you disappear. There's a difference between service and sacrifice. There's a difference between kindness and compliance. There's a difference between being open-hearted and having no energetic boundaries. Your worth is not measured by how much of yourself you can give away. Your spiritual maturity is not proven by how much discomfort you can silently tolerate. And your path is not meant to be shaped only by the expectations of others. At some point, the question becomes, am I being loving? Or am I betraying myself to avoid rejection? Am I choosing this from truth or from fear? Am I showing up as my authentic self or as the version of me that feels safest to perform? So, how do we begin to break that cycle? How do we move from people-pleasing into authenticity? The first step is not forcing yourself to suddenly become fearless. The first step is creating space. I call this the holy pause. The holy pause is the sacred moment between someone asking something of you and your automatic yes. It is the breath before the performance begins. It is the doorway back to yourself. Instead of answering immediately, you pause, you breathe, check in, ask your body, is this a true yes? Do I actually have capacity for this? Am I choosing this from love or from fear? Will this expand me or drain me? Is my spirit open to this, or am I already contracting? This pause may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if your nervous system is trained to respond quickly so no one gets upset. So you can practice simple phrases like, let me check and get back to you. I need a moment to think about it. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. I don't want to answer too quickly. I need to see if I have the capacity to do this. These are not excuses. They are bridges back to your truth, because not every commitment is soul aligned. Some commitments come from love, some come from integrity, from genuine desire, but some come from panic, guilt, the fear of being judged, the fear of disappointing someone, from the old belief that your value depends on being needed. And this is where spiritual sovereignty begins. Sovereignty means my inner authority lives inside me, not in the approval of others, not in their comfort, in their reaction, or whether they understand me. Sovereignty means you can disappoint someone and still stay connected to your own truth. That does not mean you become careless with people's feelings. It means you stop making their feelings your master. Because this part is very real. When you stop people pleasing, some people may not like it, especially people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. They may be confused, disappointed. They may say you've changed, and maybe you have. Maybe you are no longer available for the version of connection that required your self-abandonment. That discomfort does not mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it means your nervous system is learning a new language. At first, saying no may feel like danger. Your body may react. Your heart may race. Your stomach may tighten. You may want to over-explain, apologize, soften, repair, or take it back. But stay with yourself. Breathe. Place a hand on your chest or belly and say, I am safe. Even when someone is disappointed. I am allowed to have limits. I can be loving without betraying myself. I can survive someone else's discomfort. This is how fear becomes power. Not by pretending it's not there, but by staying present with it, without handing it the steering wheel. Radical authenticity is not about saying everything you think with no filter. It is not about being harsh or using truth as a weapon. Radical authenticity is energetic alignment. It means your words, choices, presence, and inner truth begin to match. It means your yes is clean. Your no is honest. So your silence is not suppression. And your kindness is not performance. Your giving is not a transaction for love. And your spirit is no longer buried beneath everyone else's expectations. Authenticity becomes an energetic boundary. It protects your focus, your creativity, your spiritual path, the sacred signal of your own soul. Because every false yes creates noise. Every time you agree when your spirit is resisting, you add static to your inner field. And when there's too much static, it becomes difficult to hear intuition, difficult to create, to know what you want, to trust yourself. So reclaiming your authentic frequency means clearing out the noise. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through the honest no. The honest no is not aggressive. It is not dramatic or cruel. It is simple, clear, respectful, and grounded. For example, thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that. I am not available for this right now. I care about you, but I don't have the capacity to hold this today. That doesn't feel aligned for me. I need to say no to this so I can honor what I'm already carrying. I'm not able to help in the way you're asking. Notice something? You don't need to build a legal case around your boundary. You don't need to offer a long emotional essay. You don't need to prove that your no is valid. A boundary does not become more sacred because you over-explained it. Sometimes over-explaining is just people-pleasing in disguise. It is the part of you that's still trying to make sure no one is upset. But your truth is allowed to be simple. Your no is allowed to be complete. And here is the beautiful paradox. When your no becomes honest, your yes becomes more powerful. Because now, when you say yes, it actually means something. Your yes becomes sacred again. It carries presence, choice, integrity. It is no longer a reflex. It is an offering. And your attention, your energy, your time, your emotional availability becomes spiritual currency. You stop spending it everywhere out of fear. You start investing it where your soul is truly called. Your authentic spiritual voice is not only about speaking louder. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, a quiet inner truth that says, I don't want this. I need rest. This isn't aligned. I actually feel differently. I want to create something else. I'm allowed to choose another path. For people pleasers, the first act of healing is often not a dramatic declaration. It is simply admitting the truth to yourself. Before you tell anyone else, you begin inside. You write it down. Say it in your journal. Speak it out loud when you're alone. You practice hearing yourself without immediately correcting, without judging or silencing it. Try this. Place one hand on your heart. Take a slow breath and ask, what truth have I been avoiding because I'm afraid of someone's reaction? Don't force the answer. Let it rise. It may be small, simple, maybe uncomfortable, but whatever appears, meet it gently. Your spiritual voice strengthens through practice. Every time you allow yourself to be misunderstood without abandoning your truth, you are training your voice to return, and over time, something shifts. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to feel your own energy more clearly. You begin to recognize the difference between guilt and guidance, between anxiety and intuition, obligation and devotion, keeping the peace and being at peace. That is the deeper work, not just saying no to others, but saying yes to the self that has been waiting beneath the mask. Now let's bring this into modern life, because in 2026, people pleasing doesn't only happen face to face. It happens in messages, group chats, social media, comments, in the pressure to respond quickly, to be available, likable, constantly reachable, to share the right version of yourself online, to be spiritual, but not too intense, honest, but not too uncomfortable, successful, but not too proud, healing, but not too messy. And this can create a new kind of mask, a digital mask. The version of you that is curated to be accepted. But your soul did not come here to become content for everyone else's comfort. Your authentic spiritual voice is allowed to be real, nuanced, human, unfiltered in the sense of being honest, not careless, but honest. This may mean not answering every message immediately, not explaining your choices to everyone, not posting only what makes you look high vibe, or performing healing when you're still in process, not saying yes to invitations that drain your nervous system, or making yourself available just because technology makes you reachable. Your energy needs modern boundaries. Your attention is sacred. Your yes is sacred. Your voice is sacred. And when you begin to live from this place, your relationships may shift. Some connections may fall away, not because you failed, but because they were connected to your performance, not your truth. And new connection may arrive, people who resonate with your real essence, people who don't need you to shrink, who can hear your no and still love you, who are not threatened by your boundaries, who meet your authenticity with their own. This is how you begin to attract a high vibrational community, not by pretending to be healed, or pleasing everyone, or becoming the perfect spiritual person, but by allowing your true frequency to be heard. Because the people meant for your path cannot find you if you are always wearing a mask that is designed to keep everyone else's comfortable. Your authenticity is a signal. When you clear the static, the right people can hear you. Let's make this practical. The next time someone asks something of you, your time, energy, attention, help, emotional labor, or agreement, practice the holy pause. Step 1. Pause. Before answering, take one breath, even if it's only 2 seconds. Step 2. Feel your body. Ask, do I expand or contract? Is my body leaning forward or pulling back? Do I feel open or do I feel trapped? Step 3. Name the source. Important. Ask yourself, is this coming from love or is it coming from fear? Am I afraid of disappointing them? Am I trying to earn approval? Step 4. Choose one honest sentence. It might be, yes, I can do that. No, I'm not available. I need time to think. I can help, but only in this way. I care, but I don't have the capacity today. Step 5. Let the discomfort exist. This is the most important part. You don't need to immediately fix the discomfort. You don't need to feel the silence or rescue the other person from their reaction. You just breathe. You stay with yourself. You allow your truth to stand. That is how the cycle breaks. Not all at once, but moment by moment, pause by pause, boundary by boundary, truth by truth. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. Your yes is sacred. Your attention is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your spiritual voice is sacred. And you do not have to keep abandoning yourself to be loved. You do not have to earn your place by being endlessly available. You do not have to carry everyone else's expectations while your own truth disappears. People-pleasing may have once helped you survive, but authenticity is what helps your spirit live. So today, I invite you to notice one place in your life where your yes has become automatic. One place where you are wearing a mask. One place where your inner voice has been saying no, but your outer life keeps saying yes. And then practice one small act of truth. Maybe it's a pause, a boundary, a journal entry, an honest conversation, or simply admitting to yourself, I don't want to keep betraying myself like this. That is where the voice returns. Not in perfection, not in performance, but in truth. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below and share where in your life do you find it hardest to say no? Is it with family, friends, work, relationships, social media, or something else? And what is one honest boundary you are ready to practice this week? If this video helped you feel more connected to your authentic spiritual voice, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on spirituality, energetic sovereignty, intuition, and inner freedom. Take one deep breath with me. Inhale. Exhale. You're allowed to be kind without disappearing. You're allowed to love without self-abandoning. You're allowed to say no and still be worthy. Your spirit did not come here to perform. It came here to speak. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.